My name on my birth certificate is Harry Edwin Rowland, but my legal name is Harry Ed Rowland, which had to be changed for technical reasons. I have two pseudos, now newly three. My first is DD Slash, my second is DD Rapids, and now I have also DD Agon, which is the newest one. And there's a reason that there was these incarnations, but that's it. Okay. I was born in 1954 in the United States, in North Carolina, in a very, very small village. And I was born at a time when the United States was very segregated and also very, very terribly, terribly racist and very frightening. And it is absolutely a kind of miracle that I am sitting here, because at the time that I went to school, I was not allowed to dream of a future. I was not allowed to decide what kind of life I wanted to have, because all of those things, excuse me, were determined more or less by the society. Okay. And I was fortunate enough that both of my parents had university educations, and both of my parents also insisted that we had excellent grades in school so that we could get into universities. How do you say, the slogan of the day is be better than you were yesterday, every single day, your whole life. Okay, so I have to thank my parents first that I'm here. And as far as my career, I studied at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. I studied classical music with Daniel Ericor, who was a Debussy and Ravel specialist for the piano. That's probably a good start, just about that technical part of who I am. Oh, that's a very interesting question. I think I would definitely be an educator as I am now, because that is both a passion that is driven by compassion. I think the one thing that the world does not have enough of are people who are passionate about sharing their love for learning, not knowledge, with others. Yeah. Well, I guess I have to back up just a little bit to say that I'm kind of a freak in the world of electroacoustic music, and a freak because I'm a freelance artist, which means I'm not affiliated or associated with any institutions. And I have to thank both my professor at the university, who was an artist who played 300 concerts a year, it's hard to imagine, and my best friend Keith, who is now deceased, but who instilled in me this notion about what it means to be an artist. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I really like about CMMAS is that it doesn't feel like a private club. It's, the concerts and things are open to the public. There are free concerts. The facilities here are available to all of the people who live in Morelia. And I think this is really, really, really different from most of these kinds of institutions and most of the other places in the world where I've had the honor of being invited to do residencies. And so it is, I don't know, it feels like going home when I'm here. And I don't know if I could also pay you a higher compliment. One of the things that I'm also very grateful to Daniel Ericor, my piano teacher, for, is that he was really passionate about music. And he said that people don't learn to play instruments because they want to. They learn to play instruments because they fall in love with the sound. And that all of your effort is to try to get the sound to either allow you to do something with it, or try to get the sound to expose itself to you. So in my life as an electroacoustic composer, I've seen a lot of things that were exciting and encouraging, and I've seen a lot of things also that have been terribly disturbing. One of the things that I think is really important for an institution like CMMAS is not to forget your beginnings, and not to forget what you're really about, because it's very, very easy to be inundated by commercial interest, and inundated by governmental and social interests, and start having to do things to make people happy, or do things to meet budgets and all those kinds of things, and then the institutions can sort of metamorph into something completely different from what they originally were. I think that's a very, very great danger. I also think that electroacoustic music can exist without technology, as strange as that sounds. So that technology is not the most important part of electroacoustic music. that music is the most important part of electroacoustic music, and I think it's really important to keep music in the foreground. Often when I'm invited to performances or conferences and festivals, I have to end the conversation immediately when it just gets reduced to the software and the machines and the technology and the methods and the algorithms and all of those kinds of things, because for me that's an intellectual part of electroacoustic music, but absolutely not the essential part of electroacoustic music. We can make it with old tape recorders, and you did it with razor blades and knives and scissors before. We can still do it. We also could make it with glasses and cans and paper and things. We don't need sound generators and tone generators and low frequency oscillators and all of those kinds of things to make electroacoustic music. And so I think CMMAS is on the right track, and keep your eyes open and stay in touch with people. I think the last 10 years have been successful because you've had your values in the right place. And I think it's just really important to keep your values in the right place.